Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We've got some stories for the sporting world this evening on the show, and we will start from the Sports Ministry, where the Sports Minister, Senator John Owaneno, is charging the team Nigeria to use the African Athletics Championship as Olympic rehearsal. The African Athletics Championship will be coming up in Douala, Cameroon, and the minister is charging the 40 athletes that has been selected by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria for this particular championship to use it as Olympic rehearsal. We have the likes of Brome, Toby Amuson, we have Chido Keze and co. All of them showing up at the athletics championship in Cameroon. And just of recent days ago, the national trials organized by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria came to a conclusion where these 40 athletes that will be representing the country in Cameroon were selected. They were selected based on performance and merit. Most of the athletes individually, they've qualified for their respective event for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. So the minister is actually charging them to use the athletics event in Cameroon as a ground for them to prepare for the Paris Olympic Games that is coming up next month in France. So it's been a good year. It's been a good year for Nigerian athletes in the year 2024. The likes of Favor Fili has been a fantastic year for her. Choma Onyekwere, when it comes to discus, discus African champion when it comes to the discus event, has been fantastic. All along, all of them will be there at the African Athletics Championship in Cameroon. So the Minister of Sports, in the country, that is Senator John Owaneno, is actually advising them, he's taxing them to use that particular sporting event as a ground, as a place for them to prepare for the Paris Games. Whatever they are going to be showing at the African Athletics Championship in Cameroon should be something they should improve on. They should use it as a way of at least identifying their area of weakness, where they are making mistakes, so that they can improve upon it when they get to the Paris Games. And because the Paris Games is the biggest stage, and every athlete's dreams to be at the Olympics. Olympics is one, if you are there, automatically you become an Olympian, and that is one thing that when you add to your CV, it gives you a very big boost in your career. All right, we have Isaac Omidiji from Bida joining us on the show this evening. Isaac, welcome to Sports Update. It's good having you this evening again. The minister is actually taxing our Team Nigeria, that is the 40 athletes that will be at the athletics championship in Cameroon, to use that place as a rehearsal for the Paris Games. Okay, can you hear me, Isaac?
Yes, I can hear you, Emmanuel.
Okay, now the minister is taxing our athletes to use the athletics championship in Cameroon as a rehearsal for the Paris 2024 Games.
Yes, good evening, Emmanuel, and thank you for having me this beautiful evening again. Yes, the minister has said what he's expected to say, and for us to prepare well, thank God we have this African championship before the Olympics. I'm very, very interested in that particular championship, not just because of how we will perform, but how we will use it definitely as a pedal to a greater performance at the Olympics. I'm very happy that we are going with our grade A, many of our grade A athletes. And so it shows that it's not something where those who don't have hope of representing Nigeria anywhere will be taken into the African Championship. No, we already have those who have qualified for the Olympics, and those who the hopes of the nation lies on already on that particular 40-man list. So seeing Chidio Keze, seeing Esebrume, seeing Toby Amuson, Enepachi, it's giving it brings hope that if these people can prepare well at the African Championship, while preparing well, they should also target podium positions. All these are needed to put them in the right frame of mind, to put them in the right position to also believe that yes, they can also be on the podium in the Olympics. This is one Olympic that will be going to that I'll be very, very optimistic of. So many podium positions for Nigerian athletes. From Ghana, where we had the All African Games, it was very marvelous for Nigeria, great performances from our athletes. Now we have seen it in various meets and various games that they have attended across the world, where they've done excellently well. At the national trials, they also did very well. Now this is the African Championship. So there's no better preparation for the Olympics than this. So I hope that these athletes will take opportunity of this. But in doing this, they should be wary of injuries.
Yes, in doing this, they should be wary of injuries. For the minister, is actually optimistic that this time around, when we go to Paris Games, the Nigerian athletes will do so well. All right, let's leave athletics and come back quickly to the Nigerian Premier Football League, where Enyimba marked the 38th, the battle who finished second, who finished third, who finished fourth, and who finished fifth in the Nigerian Premier Football League, and at the bottom also who joins Heartland and Gombe United, who are already relegated. So, but this time around, it's going to be the battle of the second spot. Now, Enyimba throw gates open for Plateau United clash. That is match day 38 in the Nigerian Premier Football League. My concern is not throwing the gate open, Isaac. How well can they handle that crowd when they actually come to that stadium? That is the Aba International Stadium.
You made a very valid point, Emmanuel, because we know Enyimba to have one of the most famous fans in the league. Their followership is very massive, especially in that particular state, about to be specific. And if you look at what happened recently at the Cathedral in Enugu, where gate fees were paid for, yet they were able to manage that particular. I'm talking about Rangers, and we even have people in the stadium more than the capacity of the stadium. And this time around, this particular one for Enyimba is being thrown open, and we're going to see massive fans. I hope they'll be able to manage it. If they're able to manage it, there's no big problem in that particular one. It's the last game of the season. It's a reward for fans, and at the same time, a way of using the massive attendance at the stadium to motivate the fans to get a victory over Plateau United. Because you mentioned first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I think what's very important now is we already know who is first. So who is going to be second and third? That is very important, because those are the only two places for the continent remaining. The winner of the Presidential Federation Cup will join the third team to go to the Confederations Cup. So let's see how Enyimba will be able to use this particular one to motivate their players to get the desired result they want against Plateau United, because they just have to win to ensure that they qualify for the continent. And with how far they have come, it will be very bad at the end of the season they didn't get the continent. Enyimba is a very big club. I'm very sure they will know how to do it. But the most important thing is the fear you raised. How are they going to manage the crowd? I pray there will not be any issue.
Okay, you pray there will not be any issue. Now, let's look at the league. I think the league has been quite interesting this season. We already, like you mentioned, we already know who is first. But the battle of the second and third position and the fourth position is going to be an interesting one. We have Remo Stars, Enyimba, Shooting Stars of Ibadan, Plateau United is there. This team, what do you make of the NPFL this season, Isaac?
Very interesting, if you ask me. Very interesting. Apart from those first two, first, second, third, fourth, look at the bottom clubs, Emmanuel. Yes, guaranteed, Atlanta and they are already relegated. But you know that from 12th position on the table till the present 17th, or 17th on the table, can go on relegation after the last round of match. So it's a league that was very, very competitive, or is still very competitive. We still have one more game to go. And I'm very happy to see this, except that the number of points that a club like Rangers might be using to win the league is just 70 out of 38 points. To me, that is not good enough for a league like Nigeria. We should see clubs get up to at least 80, 85 points in season to win the league. But now with 67, 70 points or 68 points, you're already champions of the league. That is not good enough. But if you look at the competition is there. And that makes it even more difficult for Enyimba, is the fact that Plateau United also have something to play for. So unlike Remo Stars, Shooting Stars, who probably their opponent might not have anything much to play for, except Sporting Lagos. You see the fact that Enyimba need everything possible to beat Plateau United. They also need to do well and end the season properly. And they were once on the continent, they would like to also go and experience it again. So for Enyimba, I believe they should have everything they need to do in their hearts together, put their hearts together. And most important thing is let every of this game end peacefully. If that happens, whoever qualifies for the continent deserves to qualify for the continent.
Okay, whoever qualifies, you made mention of the bottom battle. We have the table on the screen. Like you said, from the 12th position, I think, yes, from the 12th position, Kano Pillars, Kwara United, Niger Tornadoes, Bayelsa United, Akwa United, Sporting Lagos, Doma United. Two teams out of all of these teams I mentioned would join Heartland and Gombe. In a way, if you look at Kano Pillars, technically, they have -2, that is they have 49 points. Technically they can escape the relegation, but the battle is from Kwara United, Niger Tornadoes, Bayelsa United, Akwa United, Sporting Lagos. Now these teams I just made mention, Isaac, if you ask me, match day 38 is going to be a vital one for all of these teams.
Yes, very vital, and the NPFL should beam its searchlight on all these matches to avoid any unsportsmanship attitude from either the officials, from the players, or from the management of either of the club sides. Let those who will go on relegation deserve to be on relegation. Those who will stay up should deserve staying up. But I'm just so sad for clubs like Sporting Lagos and Doma United. Why? These are two privately run clubs. Doma United at the point of this season, but looking as if they're going to go for the continent. Now here they are, threatened with relegation. Sporting Lagos, another privately run club. We are in an era of encouraging privately run club in our NPFL. But I'm worried that if owners of privately run clubs are seeing more privately run clubs, being relegated, probably that will affect them. But the good news also is, from those who have already qualified for the NPFL next season, we have Nasarawa United, Academy Warriors, Beyond Limit, and Ikorodu City. Two of them also, Beyond Limit and Ikorodu, are privately run. So it's good for the Nigerian football. Let's hope this will be sustained and to be improved on. Let's have a league season where we have goal scorers at least scoring more than, highest goal scorers scoring more than 25 goals. We have the club that will be willing to get at least 80 points. All these will make it more interesting. I love the stiff competition. I love that if you just blink, you might not be able to see again. That is, might not be able to see the light of the NPFL again. So let's see what will happen in the last round of matches. But the NPFL must beam its searchlight very well on some of these matches so that we will not see games where you need to score 13 goals and you will eventually score 14 goals.
Yes, of course, the NPFL needs to beam their searchlight on all of those games, the relegation battle, and for the teams who are going to finish second, third, and fourth, respectively, in the Nigerian Premier Football League. Match day 38 is going to be an interesting one. For the very first time in a long time, we'll be seeing an intense competition in the Nigerian Premier Football League. A good one, and congratulations to Enugu Rangers, who are already champions of the league. It's just the medals and the trophy will be presented on March the 38th at the Jos Township Stadium, where they will be playing Gombe United, already relegated Gombe United. And like you mentioned, 4 teams are already back. Beyond Limits is owned by the owner of Remo Stars, so we are still waiting for NPFL decision on that, because you can't have 2 clubs playing in the league at the same time. So we don't know what the NPFL will come up with. And for Ikorodu City, the first community team to play in Nigerian Premier Football League. Ikorodu City is not owned by just one person. It's a community that came together and formed that football club, and that is in Ikorodu, Lagos. All right, let's leave that story and go straight to Europe. We'll talk about one Super Eagles player who is happy to be back up and running. I will go straight to the Greek Super League, where our own rock solid defender William Struz-Ekong is back to full training at PAOK Salonika in Greece, and they are preparing for the UEFA Champions League qualification. Isaac, is a good news for the Super Eagles, despite I don't really want to go into that, but just to say this, he declared himself fit for our qualifiers, but at the end of the day, our ex coach, that is Coach Finidi George, didn't invite him. But the good news, this guy is back with his club and he's back up and running, back to full training.
Yes, it's good that he's back to full training for his career. Very good for that. And very good for the Super Eagles. I think you don't declare yourself fit just that way. There was medical evidence from both the national team, medical team, and that of your club to show that yes, you're fit. So that is not really a big deal as far as I'm concerned. What if he's actually injured and he's probably out for a year? Want to have others that will play? That is the question we should ask ourselves. So we should not be planning our national team that whenever a player is injured, then we're head to ransom. Good for one of the greatest defenders I have seen of his career. I mean, of his playing days. Looking at this young man that came and we call them the Oyinbo defense line with Leon Balogun. But he has shown to be more Nigerian than the Oyinbo that we thought he is. And he has continued to be very committed to the Super Eagles. Look at what he did at the Nations Cup. Very, very great. Playing through, pains and injections and injuries during the Nations Cup. And that affected him even when going back to his club because he had to sit out for months. And that also accumulated to end of the season, not featuring for his club properly until the end of the season. And the Super Eagles coach then probably didn't believe that he is fit. So this time around is good for him, good for his career, good for his club, and good for Nigeria. It's good to see your good players coming back, feel fully fit and ready to go.
Okay, fully fit and ready to go. They will be partaking in the UEFA Champions League qualification series, and it's good for PAOK Salonika of Greece to have their man back with them in full training. All right, let's remain in Europe, but this time around we'll be looking at some transfers on the show this evening. Quickly, let's start with this one in the English Premier League, where Fulham revive interest in Chelsea defender Trevor Chalobah. This is a fantastic English defender who is with Chelsea, but this time around Fulham want to do everything to move him to the other side of London. Both clubs, Fulham and Chelsea, they are in London. For Trevor Chalobah, I think it's going to be a good move for him if he goes to Fulham. But we have our own Kevin Bassey, who has held down his own spot, his position in that team.
Yes, it will be good for Chalobah. Remember before now, Fulham were actually interested in bringing him in January transfer window. It didn't happen. Bayern Munich also showed interest. It didn't happen. He's not getting enough playing time in Chelsea. And this time I need to move. And for Fulham, already, Tosin Adarabioyo ended his contract with Fulham and is currently a Chelsea defender. So I think that relationship, even though it's a free transfer, should be able to, facilitate this deal. He needs to play. And for Kevin Bassey, I'm not scared for him. He's a strong guy. It's very important that a vacuum has been created with the going in of Tosin Adarabioyo. So I still see Kevin Bassey to be a very, very important squad member. Team member for Fulham, still playing his normal position. And if you remember, he can play at the right back as well. At the left back as well. So not really at the centre back alone. So for Chalobah, it will not be a major threat as far as I'm concerned to Calvin Bassey.
Okay, let's leave that. Still staying with the English Premier League. Let's look at this one story where the 70 million price tag could hammer Jared Brentwaite's deal with Manchester United. Manchester United has been chasing this guy, but Everton is asking for £70 million, and Man U is not ready to spend that kind of money on a defender. After all, they bought Harry Maguire for £80 million, and this time they want to be careful.
Yes, for Jared Brentwaite, Everton and Manchester United, I think if a common grant cannot be found, that deal will not go through. And it's very important for Man U to be very aware of the financial play rule so that they don't go against it. They should know that because of a lot of spendings, let me use that in English, over this past 3 seasons, the club presently don't have enough large budget for big spendings like this. So if the spending can come down to a level that United can afford, why not allow Jared Brentwaite to go? is another overhyped, overrated English player as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, overrated players. Let's run over these remaining two on the show this evening, where Loxley Lenny Yoro prefers a move to Real Madrid over Liverpool and Manchester United. I will not allow you to react to that. Let's quickly look at some Euro fixtures for this evening. Quickly, let's look at these Euro games. Already we have a game who has been played, but we have Poland versus Austria and Netherlands against France. Isaac, quickly, interesting fixtures in Euro, that's Group D, and also we have the other game in Group E.
Yes, particularly today, I think I'm more interested in the one that will be coming up in the next few hours, the Netherlands-France game. It promises to be very interesting. Remember, France were lucky to get a victory over Austria. Poland lost also to the Netherlands. So that makes the game currently ongoing to also be very important and very interesting. So both Poland and Austria are currently playing for a victory. They know they must get a victory. And for Netherlands, France, it promises to be also very interesting. One of them will be looking for qualification outrightly, because they both won their first games. So let's see how it pans out.
Okay, let's see what would the outcome of that game, what it would be between Poland and Austria, as that game is ongoing in Euro 2024. But the big one will come up later. Netherlands, big one, big game against France in the other game. All right, that is the size of the show this evening. Isaac, thanks for joining me on the show. It's been wonderful having you on Sports Update this evening.
Thank you very much, Manuel.
All right, that is it on the program. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.